What is up, guys? It is Logan from Mooks of the West, and I'm here to talk about kind of a thing that a lot of people talk about. No, that's a terrible intro. What's up, guys? This is Logan from Mooks of the West, and you are watching Advanced Warfare gameplay. I couldn't be any more obnoxious. So I picked up this game a couple days ago for both my PS3 and Xbox 360. I know, I'm chilling in the last generation, not the current generation of the PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, blah, blah, blah. I also have a PC, so I'm not totally missing out. And the reason why I got both games is originally I was just planning on getting it on my PS3 because that's where I play with my best friends. But I have a couple coworkers that I'm starting to play games with, and I have another set of friends who aren't my best friends, but they're some really good friends who I like playing video games with too. So it's the novelty of both consoles, both friends. But at my job, they gave us a $50 gift card to pretty for some safety thing at our work. We went a full year without anybody getting injured or hurt or something like that along the line. So we all got a $50 gift card. Anyway, I'm already a minute and a half into the video and I'm not even talking about what I want to talk about. So let's get on topic. There is sort of kind of a multiple side to what I'm going to talk about today. There's a small issue, not issue, but it's a heavily debated topic on the internet community, and that is whether or not YouTube is a real job or it could qualify as a real job. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents on whether or not I believe YouTube is a real job and talk from personal experience, opinions, and life, and blah blah blah, shit like that. So when you think of a job, you think about getting up in the morning or getting ready at a certain time. You're thinking of morning shifts, evening shifts, knock shift, day shift, or evening shift. However you slice it and dice it. Day shift including morning till maybe 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock, I guess. Really depends on how you slice it and dice it. Evening shift, the rest, the darker latter of the day. And the morning shift, early in the morning. Knock shift, nighttime, evening, blah, blah, blah. 6 o'clock, dinner shift. So that's how you slice and dice it. Some people, I've heard it multiple ways. Okay, so yeah. So when you think of a job, you think of that, or you think of the 9 to 5. You think of maybe 6 to 2, something along the lines of a certain period of time. Get up in the morning, go to work, you do something. You either deliver goods, you work in an office, check out groceries, McDonald's, office building. I already said office buildings. Shit like that. Retail, any type of customer service, basically, technical stuff. And then, you think of like careers that you go to college for, like law enforcement, or engineer, architect, business, and shit like that. That's what you think of when you think of job. You might also think of stuff like retirement, like a 401k, blah, 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 health insurance, and labor, so to speak. But a lot of people on YouTube, there is quite a bit. There's quite a few who are fortunate enough to have enough subscribers and enough viewers, which I'm not at that point, and I might never be. I don't care. This isn't about me, but I'm not one of those people that have YouTube as a career. It's not even an option for me at this point. It may never be, but there are people fortunate enough to get a career from YouTube, for making videos. Some just play video games, some are actually directors, short films, all that shit. Some do skits, and then you have those people that do kind of tutorials, how-to stuff, advice, vlogs. There's all sorts of stuff on YouTube that you can watch, and people make money doing it, which is kind of cool. I think it's awesome. But the question is it a real job? Is getting up, making a video for maybe a day, maybe 3 times a week, maybe once a week, depending on who you are, is that considered a job? Is playing a video game and then uploading it on the internet or doing live streams, is that considered a job? A lot of people say no, which is why this is the topic of my video. Now, for me, I will say it is not a job. Not for me. But do I consider it a job? When I think of a job, I don't think of it as labor or, tiring where you hate it. It's not fun. I don't think of it as retirement, as a certain set of hours or shit like that. I don't think of that as a job whatsoever. Because if you think of that as a job, then you wouldn't consider a lot of other media outlets like movies. You wouldn't consider those actors having a job because they don't have specific hours, the 9 to 5. Sometimes they work all day, sometimes they only work a couple hours, but I think most people consider that a job, but it doesn't fit the job description that some people try to label as a job. You know what I mean? So it really depends on how you slice and dice a job. But again, I'm not here to tell you what a job is or whatever. I just went off topic a little bit. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. Okay, now that I've had a couple minutes to think, kind of re-wrap my brain around what the fuck I was talking about, there's a lot of people who say that YouTube is not a job. Making videos is not a job. But would you consider freelancing work? I'd consider freelancing work. The thing is I think there's more than one type of job. The way I slice it and dice it is there's stable job. And stable meaning you have a certain set of hours and you go there every day, have a certain set of days off, and you work and you're guaranteed a certain amount of money, meaning a wage or whatever. And then I think there is things called a part-time job, where I have a part-time job at a retail store, which I will not tell you at this point. I'm not sure if I can. I'm going to have to look at the terms and policies of my actual job to tell you, or before I tell you anything about where I work at. It is a huge chain of stores in the United States, I'll tell you that, and it's pretty impactful in the world. Anyway, so as I was saying, is I work a part-time job. My hours are so random. Sometimes I'll work 4 hours. Sometimes I'll work a full shift. Sometimes it'll be a basic 9 to 5, but technically it's 9 to 6 if I work a full shift. You're there for 9 hours, you get an hour lunch. So you work for 8 hours, but you're there for 9, and you get an hour lunch. Shit like that. I don't have a set of days off that I always get. I don't have a Saturday and Sunday off. I don't have a Monday, Tuesday off. I don't have a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It really depends. Sometimes I only have 1 day off a week. Sometimes I have 4 days off a week. Like I said, it all depends. I can choose my hours availability. Like, I never work Fridays. I chose that for myself. And I could tell them what hours I'm available from. And I put that I'm only available from 4 till the closing of my work, 4 p.m. to close. Unless I do something like training to operate something else or to get like a promotion, then I tell them I'm available at any hours of the day. So that's pretty much part-time job, which isn't stable job in my opinion. And then there's also freelance, which is where you do work for other people. So you're a director, per se, you get hired by a movie company to make a movie, and then you're done. Or you're asked to do some construction work, and you do some construction work. You're asked to do some carpet cleaning stuff, and you work for other people basically. And you kind of work on your own. There's also solo workers, which to me is like a freelance, but they have their own business. I guess a lot of it's interchangeable and can kind of work together, but that's how I'm going to slice it and dice it. What I consider YouTube as freelance, sort of solo work. You work for yourself, and you're responsible for everything you do. So as a business owner, if you have a YouTube channel, you're going to have to advertise for it. You're going to have to put in the work and whatnot, but you can turn it into sort of a stable job, as in you know what I mean? You can do it like you set a certain amount of hours that you work and play games and whatever, and edit video and upload video and respond to your media outlets that you use for your job. So I think it could be a stable job in that way. The thing is the way I slice a job. To me, a job is a way that you do work to provide living expenses, not necessarily to pay the bills, because you might be homeless. But a job's a job, in my opinion. A job is any amount of work you do. And I don't think work has to be something to benefit a community or to do something impactful in the world or something for society. Because the thing is, entertainment to me is a job. People like entertainment. People buy entertainment. You're supplying a goods. You're supplying goods for society, for the people in the society that you live in. And the goods in this case is entertainment, because entertainment makes people happy. Therefore, I think YouTube is a job, because you would never go up to an actor who is... An actor is not guaranteed roles in a movie. Okay, they have to work to get themselves out there, to establish themselves as a good actor, because there's actors whose careers down spiral, and they might be good actors, but they just don't get that break that they need. They don't get the roles that they need. They don't get work that they need, and their career is basically over because it's a shitty world. And it's really like that with any job. No job, even if it's what I call a stable job, no job is stable. I have a friend whose parents worked at a local factory in my town, and had that job for many years, and got laid off. And then I have a friend that worked with my brother, who's also a family friend to my mom, who had a job at the mill, at one of the mills here, worked there for 10 plus years, 6 plus years, I'm not sure, but worked there for more than 5 years, one of the best workers they had, but got laid off. And it blew my fucking mind, because I know him, and my brother knew him. My brother said he was one of the best workers that they had, and he got laid off. It's amazing. And that's what you would call a stable job. My mother, for example, and this kind of goes back to the whole thing I said about retirement and health care and all that shit, health insurance and whatever. My mom is a med aid, or a medical technician, as they call it, a med technician, whatever, at a retirement center, a retirement home, and she administers meds to the residents there, which are all basically, for the most part, senior citizens. And she doesn't make that much. She makes decent money. We have an apartment, 600 plus a month for rent, washer and dryer. We have cable. We have internet, obviously. We have clothes, food in our mouth, a roof over our heads. So we're living comfortably, but we're not rich by any means necessary, because, buy used cars. We don't have enough for new cars, shit like that. Ford SUV, blah, blah, blah. So recently, the company, I want to say a couple years ago, actually, just a couple years ago, the company that she worked for was bought out by a new company. And the company that she worked for previously, she's worked there for 10 plus years. Now she's been there for 15 years, I think. But 10 plus years, that company owned that building. And that company didn't offer a retirement plan. Didn't offer 401k, whatever you want to call it. 301k. I forgot what it's called. Kind of brain fart at this moment. But they didn't offer her a retirement plan. And she worked there for 10 plus years in a stable job. Gets up at 4:30 in the morning. Goes to work. Has to be there by 5. And works until 2... maybe 2 after. Sometimes she gets off at 3:30. Works her ass off. Does an amazing job at what she does. But the thing is they didn't offer her retirement and affordable health insurance. The company still exists, and the company wasn't bought out, but the building that company owned out in my town was bought out by another company. That's how retirement centers work. But they didn't offer any of that. So would you consider that a real job? I mean, obviously, you don't get health insurance on YouTube. They don't offer you that. YouTube doesn't offer you a retirement plan. But that's why some people say it's not a real job. But why isn't it a real job? You would consider what my mom had a real job. She got paid a certain amount of money an hour, and then a certain amount of money for overtime. And all that shit, right? But no retirement plan, none of that. But you would consider that a real job. which is why, in my opinion, I think YouTube is a real job, because YouTube content creators are providing for a demand. They're providing services, and they're doing something to help them live. They're doing something to provide a ceiling, 4 walls, and food in their stomachs for shelter and food. Basic necessities that you need in order to live. Anyway, that is all. So give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, subscribe, comment, and thank you for watching.